This is going to be the content schedule of a 10K a month coach. And I'm going to give you guys literally the blueprint to succeed on social media. So if you pay attention to this presentation, by the end of this presentation, you'll know exactly what to post, how much of it to post, when to post it, what type of content it's hitting, etc. There's not going to be any fluff in this presentation. I'm going to share with you my own story on how we've generated $15+ million on my own social media accounts. And I'm going to give you the step-by-step formula so that you guys can start to do this on your own accounts as well. And at the end of this presentation, if you have any questions, you can fucking ask me. I'm going to be here for a Q&A. My only thing is be fully present, commit to taking notes, and be where your feet are, all right? If I have your commitment on that, just say, I commit. Everybody in the chat box, 18 people, I want to see your little faces. I commit to paying attention in the chat box. I put this together for you guys. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. Cool. So guys, in 2021, my Instagram account got disabled. I just flew to Mexico and me and my beautiful wife got a notification that said your Instagram has been permanently disabled. Now my Instagram was the primary source of me acquiring new clients. So for 48 hours, I tried to get it back. I Googled every single phone number that Instagram had to get in contact with them. I filled out that my account is disabled over 50 times. I even called somebody who gets accounts reinstated and paid $20,000 to get my Instagram account back, BMarkFit. And I finally realized it wasn't coming back. Now, at this time, I literally had 800+ podcast episodes directing people to DM me on BMarkFit, an account that no longer existed. And I had all of my reputation built up on this one account. And it was the only way for me to acquire new clients. But just like that, it was gone. I was anxious as fuck. I built my entire business off of this account and my main revenue traffic source was gone. I started thinking to myself, like, what if I lose all my money and I never get it back? You know, do you guys ever get that imposter syndrome with online coaching where you like think that it's a fluke and that it might go away? Does that ever happen to any of you guys? Say yes in the chat box if you ever felt that. I live that. So like that like whole fear of like, what if my account got disabled and like, what if it like my business went to zero? Like I live that. It was scary and I had no one to answer for me. And I literally was by myself trying to figure this out. So I made a decision. In 2021, I started my second account, which is the real Brian Mark. And I decided I wasn't going to let this adversity break me. I was going to allow it to shape me and become the person I was supposed to become. So instead of sitting around and hoping that my account would come back, I decided to start a new account from scratch at the real Brian Mark. And I committed, I'm going to get this account to 100,000 followers. As you guys can see from the screenshot, it's at 88.7 thousand followers as of right now. Now, growing a brand new Instagram account proved to be a challenge. I didn't have any reputation or brand with this new account. So I decided that volume was the answer. Everybody write that in the chat box. Volume is the answer. I posted 2 times a day, every day, 7 days a week. Posts, reels, carousels, basically anything I could post to give value to my audience and deposit goodwill in the market. As you can see, I've made over 1,400 posts on this account in the last 22 months. At first, the growth was very slow. I'm like, we're talking like 300 to 500 views on every video I ever posted. How many of you guys are at that place right now? Maybe you're getting, 100 to 300 to 500 to 1,000 views on your videos. If you're at that place, say me in the chat box. That's where I was at when I started this account. And it was extremely frustrating because when you put your heart and soul into a piece of content and then 3 people like it and it gets 100 views, it's really frustrating. But I said to myself, I'm not going to lose if I don't quit. And so I continue to post twice a day, every day, 7 times a week in an attempt to get myself back to a place where my Instagram became my primary source of traffic. Finally, after 10 months of launching my Instagram account, my Instagram hit 10K followers, which was the start of the come up. By mid-2022, 6 months after my account got disabled, one day out of the blue, it got reinstated. But by this point, my new account was gaining momentum and I didn't really want to stop posting on my new account. So I hired a team to completely run my old account and I focused 100% of my energy on growing the real Brian Mark. Now in 2023, we have over 88,000 followers at the time of me writing these slides. As you guys can see on the screenshot, on average, we enroll 60 to 80 new clients per month from my new account. Each contract that we sign is worth $6,000. 60 new contracts at $6,000 for the year is $360,000 per month in revenue that we generate from one Instagram account. Multiply that by 12 months, and we're talking about $4,320,000 in contracted revenue that we generate from my Instagram account, the real Brian Mark, that I started from scratch 22 months ago. Now, let me ask you a question. What would your life be like if you were able to generate that kind of revenue from your Instagram account in the next 23 months? Think about that for a second. I started this account from scratch, 0 followers 23 months ago. And I'm going to give you guys the framework on how I did it. And let's not even talk about $4.3 million. Okay. What would your life be like if you were able to generate $200,000 from your Instagram account in the next 23 months? Type it in the chat box. What would change in your life if you were able to generate $200,000 in the next 23 months from your Instagram account? Like, imagine what it would feel like to be able to sign 2 to 4 new clients every week for $1,000 programs. What would you do with that money? Imagine what it would feel like to have an abundance of leads, so many people asking to work with you that you don't have the bandwidth and you need to hire team members. Imagine what it would feel like every single time you posted a piece of content, you knew it was going to do well because you created a loyal audience of potential clients that look forward to your content. How good would it feel to never have to worry about money again? You guys know that feeling where you go to the fucking bank or you go to the ATM or you go to like pay for something and you worry about whether or not your card is going to decline? How would it feel to be able to be in full control of your life, to take care of your family, take them on frequent vacations, pay for random medical expenses, schooling, or anything your children require? Like, that's what's possible with online coaching, you guys. That's what's possible. And that's why, no matter what anybody says, I believe that online coaching is a more profitable and you're able to make a bigger impact than in-person coaching. I know you guys are clean health. A lot of you guys are in-person coaches, and I'm really sorry, but I'm very bullish on that belief. I believe you'll be able to make a bigger impact on the planet and you'll be able to be more financially free by being an online coach. That's what happened with my client, Patrick Hong. So Patrick Hong is one of our clients. He actually started out as a burnt out in-person trainer from Australia. He always struggled to find new leads. He was great at sales, but he just didn't have enough sales opportunities to earn a full-time living online coaching. So we work with Pat on his Instagram profile, his content creation, his DM, his ability to book calls. And I'm going to give you guys some of the stuff we worked on with Pat in today's presentation. And this is when he started with us. He had 6,000 followers. Now he has over 700,000 followers. So when he was at 6,000 followers, he was making $5K a month. And now he has 700,000 followers and he's making $70,000 per month. That's over $694,000 and an extra $65,000 per month in the span of 20 months. He also moved completely out of Australia to Dubai, where he spends his time riding camels and taking yacht trips with his friends and family. He took full control of his life. So everybody needs to understand this. Okay, this one fucking thing. I want you to write this in the chat box. If he can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. Guys, the only reason you haven't pursued online coaching to this level is that you don't believe it's possible for yourself. The only reason you haven't succeeded on this level and you haven't pushed yourself to this level is that you don't believe it's possible for you to succeed at this level. But when you see success stories like this, you need to understand that if he can do it, I can do it. Patrick Hong came into my community and he was literally a struggling personal trainer, wasn't really sure what to do, but he saw some of the personal trainers that were in the community like Don Lamb, like Janelle Wheel, crushing it in their business. And he was like, I'm going to be one of those people. And you need to make that decision and write that in the chat box. I'm going to be one of those people. If he can do it, I can do it. Now I'm going to share stories of students who have done exactly what I'm talking about. I'm giving you guys all the value. I'm not going to hold anything back. What you need to understand is that information without implementation is completely useless. So believe that this is possible and start taking massive action so that you can take control of your life. If you're with me, say hell yes in the chat. Cool. So let's get into the actual value, the content schedule for a $10,000 a month coach. Now, which one of this is you? So maybe number one, you haven't gotten your online coaching business fully started because you believe the market is too saturated. Or number two, you know that there's massive potential, so you've been posting on social media, but for some reason you can't seem to grow or sign enough clients. Or maybe you're number three, you're doing well in your online coaching business, but you know there's another level, but you can't seem to break through that level and break through your income plateau. So have you not gotten started? You've gotten started and you're struggling, or you're doing well and you know there's another level. Are you 1, 2, or 3? Let's see some numbers in the chat box. I want to see who I'm working with. Unless you master what I'm about to tell you, you're always going to struggle for money. So I'm going to break this training into 3 separate parts. Part number 1 is the Instagram story blueprint to make $10,000 a month. Part number 2 is what's working right now to grow by thousands of followers on social media. And part number 3 is the content schedule that you can stick to consistently so you can always be growing in followers and income. So let's talk about the Instagram story blueprint. First things first, the more that you post in your story, the more visible you are. I sign 60% of my clients through the content that I post on my Instagram stories. It's that important, which is why it's first. On a daily basis, your Instagram story should have 4 things. Number 1, videos of you talking. Number 2, social proof of clients getting great results. Number 3, behind the scenes of your daily life. And number 4, polls for people to engage with. Instagram stories are the single most important platform for generating revenue for your online coaching business, period. Not having an optimized daily Instagram story schedule is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. It's time to take full control of your financial future and master the art of Instagram stories. Cool. So, videos of you talking. It's a proven fact that the more you talk in your Instagram stories, audience trusts you. It's called the parasocial relationship, and we're going to dive into this in a second. Social proof. Before and after pictures, screenshots of client wins or workouts completed. This sort of consistent documentation shows that you're actively working with clients who are getting great results. Behind the scenes of your daily life, you need to showcase that you are a real person living and breathing the fitness lifestyle so your audience can be inspired not only by what you say, but also by what you do. And polls for people to engage with. You want to consistently give people polls to engage and interact with so you can start conversations and build community. So let's talk about the videos of you talking and why it's important. So the parasocial relationship, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, refers to the feeling that an audience member has when watching a member of the media. The same neurons fire in their brain as if they're having a conversation with their friend. So think about that for a second. When an audience member watches you on video, the exact same neurons fire as if they're interacting with a friend. How many of you guys have ever met somebody that you watch online and you're feel like you're meeting a famous person? How many of you guys have ever done that? Say me in the chat box. This is called the parasocial relationship. By the time you meet them, they've never met you, but you feel like you know them. You're like, I know you. I watch your content. When I met Christian Guzman in person, I'm like, I literally have watched probably 100 hours of your content. So I felt like I knew him when I met him, right? And that's called the parasocial relationship. And so what you guys need to understand is you underestimate the value of building a relationship with a small audience, because I think that people are like, oh, I only have 100 people to watch my story, so there's not really a point in me going on my story. That's 100 humans that you're building a relationship with. And if 10 of those people become your clients and they pay you $400 a month, that's $4,000 a month. So the more that you talk, share your opinion, and be open and honest on your Instagram stories, the more that you're going to develop a deeper sense of trust. Social proof. Before and after pictures, screenshots of client wins, this sort of consistent documentation shows that you're working with clients. The truth is there's a lot of online coaches on the market. And if you're not positioning yourself as an expert by sharing social proof, then you're not going to separate yourself from the pack. We can tell people we can get them results, or we can show them client results that we've been able to help them achieve. This needs to happen literally every single day. You need to post social proof so much that you feel like you're annoying. Behind the scenes of your daily life. As a fitness coach, you are doing things that automatically you might think are boring, but actually is the blueprint for success. So you want to give your audience the blueprint for success. Show your audience that you're leading by example, that you walk the talk, and let them be inspired by your words, but not only your words, but also your actions. And lastly, polls for people to engage with. This is super important, you guys. The more that you give your audience a chance to interact with you, the more your Instagram account will grow, and the more that you'll establish relationships in the marketplace. So you can post polls like, what do you struggle with more, diet or exercise? Are you a morning workout person or an evening workout person? You can post a before and after of one of your clients that got amazing results and say, do you want results like this? Hell yes, or send me more info. Anyone who engages with your polls on social media is somebody that you can start a conversation with. And through those conversations, you can book calls with qualified prospects and get them enrolled in your program. Okay, so what part of the Instagram story blueprint do you need the most help with? Is it talking on your story, social proof daily, behind the scenes daily, or posting polls for people to engage with? Type it in the chat box. What part do you need to work on the most? Talking videos, social proof, behind the scenes, or posting polls? Cool. All of it. I love it. All of it is also an answer. So for those of you guys that need to work on this, what I would recommend is set a timer. Okay. So when I first started on Instagram and I needed to get more consistent with it, what I did is I would set timers in the morning. So maybe 9 a.m. and then noon and then 3 p.m. And it would literally say, go on my Instagram story, so that you get yourself in the habit of it. You'll only need to do this for a couple of weeks. And then after that, you'll develop the habit. You won't need to set the timers. But when you're first getting in the habit of getting on your Instagram stories, I'd recommend setting a timer so that you can get yourself in the habit of doing it. Cool. Now let's talk about what's working right now to grow by thousands and thousands of followers. Okay, first thing you need to understand is reels are king, period. Unless you're posting Instagram reels, you're 100% going to get left behind, because they are the single greatest way to grow on Instagram. All of the content you post on Instagram can be reposted to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and more. Reels are king on social media, and if you're not posting them, you're going to get left behind. Now, some common mistakes that you guys make with Reels are posting the trends and trending audios. Guys, when you become the trend person, you never actually find your voice. And when people find your page, they might like your content, but they're not going to buy from you. Another common mistake is copying other people's reels without knowing what your core message is. Like if you come to one of my talking videos about mindset and you use the same fucking script, but there's no core message behind it or no core belief on like something that you believe in, then you're always going to be chasing the next video that somebody else is creating. So you need to figure out what your core message is. And another common mistake is being addicted to the views. Say me in the chat box if you've ever done this. When you post a reel and then 30 minutes later, you go look at the views. And then another 30 minutes later, you go and look at views. How many of you guys have done that? Say me in the chat box. The truth is that 1 in every 30 to 40 videos of mine go viral. And those are the videos that end up pulling me in the followers. So I don't look at the view. Like I'm not chasing the views. I'm not like, oh my God, like I only got X amount of views on this video. I also don't delete videos ever because every video that I post that doesn't do well is like a lesson for me to take into the next one. And so every other video that doesn't go viral is just me putting in the reps and giving value. So if I am only focused on the views, I might get discouraged and I might not post. So you don't want to become the trend person or the dancing queen because no one's going to buy. And the tip guy or gal isn't make 10K a month. So don't do that. Copying other people's reels and not knowing what your core message is not the move, especially like when you copy other people's content, you never actually find your motivation to create your own content. And you always feel like an imposter because you're not saying what's on your mind. I mean, think about it. Why would you be motivated to make content when the content that you make, it doesn't actually represent who you are? And again, you don't want to be addicted to the views. So which one of these do you struggle with the most? Is it following the trends and posting audios? Is it copying other people's reels without knowing what your message is? Or is it being addicted to the views? Or is it all, say, following trends, copying reels, or being addicted to the views? What do you struggle with the most? Type it in the chat box. Talking about common mistakes, and then we're going to get into best practices. You don't want to be the trend person. Addicted to the views, 100%. Okay, so let's talk about best practices. Follow your heart and find your voice. So I have a content strategy that I've been working on for the last 6 months that's been hyper successful. And this is what it is, okay? 50% of my content is my opinion. So how I feel about lazy people and how I feel about lack of discipline and why I'm successful and like what my core values are and like all of the things I had to do to be successful. So cutting out negative people, surrounding myself with positive people, hiring mentors, investing in myself. So 50% of my content is my opinion on life. The other 50% of my content is directed straight at my avatar. So if you come to my page at The Real Brian Mark, #follow me, shameless plug, you'll find that when you watch a video, it'll be highly actionable content for online coaches who are trying to grow their business. So it'll be like, if you're on a sales call and a prospect says, I want to start next week, here's what you say. So it's very actionable content that my audience can take and utilize today. So for your guys' content strategy, 50% of your content should be your opinion and your core values. And the other 50% should be directed at your core avatar. So like whoever it is you're trying to speak to. So if you're trying to speak to men's fat loss, then 50% of your content should be directed at men's fat loss. You also want to figure out what your core message is. And when I'm talking about your core message, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this. And I want to say, like, what do you want to be known for? You also, in terms of best practices, need to be 100% committed to the process of consistently posting and forgetting about the views. So the 50% of your content is directly working towards your avatar. So I want everyone to type it in the chat box right now. Who is your avatar? I'm curious. Who is your avatar? Fat loss and rehab. Okay. Thank you, Catherine. Who else is here? I see you. Give me your avatar. There's 31 people on the Zoom. I want to see more people engaging. Frustrated, busy adults who want to lose 20 pounds or more in 6 months. That's great. I love that. Women who want to get stronger. Beautiful. Thank you. So, Mr. Bond, 50% of your content should be directed at women who want to get stronger. If you're in the gym and you want to lift more weights in your deadlifts, here are 3 things that you can do to add more weights to your deadlifts in the next 2 weeks. Boom, boom, boom. So women who want to grow a dumpy, here are my top 3 exercises for growing your glutes. Here's my booty building breakfast. Here's my booty building gainer shake. And like, guys, when you're like, if you're working with women who want to grow a dumpy, Maria, you can literally name all of your recipes like booty building breakfast, like booty building lunches, right? Like you can literally just fucking name it that because that's what the goal is for the girls to join your program. So anybody that's doing your program, when they're eating that food, they're going to grow a dumpy. So you can literally like catchphrase the things that you're doing towards your avatar. And that's what you should do. That's what marketing is, right? At the end of the day, we're all selling the same shit. It's meals, training, accountability. All of us sell the same shit. It's just dressed up in a different way. And so when you guys are marketing, you really need to think about who it is that you're trying to speak to. And then you need to take the same fundamental knowledge that we all know, and you need to dress it up in a way that's appealing to your avatar. Pepsi and Coke is pretty much the same shit. Okay. Maybe there's a slight difference in how it tastes, but it's a way that it's marketed that gets us to buy either Pepsi or Coke. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? This is what you need to understand with marketing. All of us are selling the same thing. We're all selling training and nutrition. Nobody's a fucking wizard here or a rocket scientist. All right. It's all the same, especially us at Clean Health. We're all learning from the same people. Okay. So you need to figure out how you can dress it up in a way that would appeal to your ideal client. Does this make sense? Yes or yes in the chat box. Now that's 50% of your content. The other 50% of your content needs to be your opinion on life. Okay. Now, this might be hard for you because it's likely that you've held back your opinion on life because you're afraid of offending other people. You don't want to say what's actually on your mind because your mom might get offended, or on social media, or your like grandmother who's extremely political might come at you, or your friend disagrees with something that you say. Guys, you need to like let it out. How do you feel about overweight parents? How do you feel about laziness? Or when your clients say that they're too fucking busy to work out, right? Like we need to share our fucking opinions on social media. And like you can be, so like if we talk about like the level of sharing your opinion, for those of you guys that don't follow my business partner on social media, you should. His name's Cole Lewis da Silva. You'll get a fucking chuckle from his opinion, okay? Because he's like a 10 out of 10. I like yell my opinion at the fucking world. I'm like a 7 or an 8. Like I'm not that aggressive. My wife, again, if you're into female inspo, go follow at the real Kirsten Mark. She's also very opinionated and she like loves doing like very opinionated things. There was one video that she did and she's like, sometimes people comment on my videos and they tell me not to swear. And so my reply to that is fuck, 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 fuck. Right. So like that's her opinion. And that video went super viral and ended up getting her millions of views and hundreds of thousands of followers. So you need to share your opinion more on social media. Now, figuring out what your core message is, okay? Like, think about this. I want you to ask yourself this question. How do you want to be remembered? What message is Maria Barova bringing to the world? Like, what sort of impact do you want to be known for? Think about this. I know what mine is. I want to be known as the man who inspires people to chase their dreams. That's it. That's why I'm fucking on this planet. That's why I started my YouTube channel, because I want to document my fucking rise to success as I climb to be bigger than Gary Vaynerchuk. And I want to share that journey so that people can see where I came from and where I'm going. So all of my content on social media is directed at people to chase their dreams. What is your core message? How do you want to be remembered? If you can figure out the answer to that question and you can create content from that place, it's going to make it a lot easier to share your opinion. How do you want to be remembered? Now, this is important. This is the most fucking important one. Okay. So listen up. I'm going to say it loud and clear. You need to be 1,000% committed to the process of posting and forget about the fucking views. Michael Jordan was the single greatest basketball player of all time. And he was also the first person on the practice court and always the last person to leave. I was listening to an interview that Dwayne Wade did the other day. And Dwayne Wade was talking about how him and we're talking about Michael Jordan's work ethic. We're also going to talk about Kobe. Dwayne Wade was talking about Kobe and his level of work ethic. And he was saying that there was like an all-star game where they went to Singapore, all of like the best of the best in America, flew to Singapore to do the all-star game. And they all agreed that they were going to wake up early in the morning. They were going to go get breakfast together and then they were going to go to the gym. So, you know, Dwayne Wade and all the basketball players wake up and they go get breakfast and Kobe's already eating by himself at the table. And they're like, what's up, Kobe? He's like, oh, you know, I just finished my first workout. I'm going to eat breakfast and go for my second workout. Like that is like the level of work ethic that will put you above the pack. Okay. But the level of consistency that you need to have is that you need to make the decision in this moment that you'll be consistent for the next 365 days and you will not care about the views. I promise you that if you can develop consistency over 365 days and not care about the views, I promise you that you will blow up on social media, period. I promise you. You need to make the decision in this moment that you'll be consistent for the next 365 days and you will not care about the views. I promise you, your life will be completely different. Because most people, what they do is they get consistent for 2 weeks. And then when the results aren't there, they quit or they stop posting. And then they see their fucking friend on social media blow up and they're like, fuck, I'm going to start posting again. They do it again, maybe for 4 weeks. And then life happens, adversity happens, and then they quit. And they're constantly stuck in this start and stop and start and stop and start and stop loop, and they never break through. How many of you guys are there? Say me in the chat box. Guys, consistency over 365 days is the solution, period. Now, which one of these do you need to work on the most? Following your heart and finding your voice, figuring out what your core message is, or you need to work on being consistent? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Or type all in the chat box. All. I love it. Change the lives of men over 35 makes them unstoppable. I fucking love it. I want to be known as someone who turned my every adversity into advantage and teach my clients and athletes to do the same. I love it. One of my favorite quotes, Maria, is every adversity brings the seed of equal or greater opportunity. I literally kept saying that to myself because those of you guys that don't know, I'm getting over this like fucking violent sickness. I'm like, every adversity brings the seed of equal or greater opportunity.
I have a synonymous saying that's carried me all through my prep and is actually my mantra, and it's turning adversity into my advantage. And that's my mantra going into my next chapter as a competitive athlete. So quite synonymous to what you're saying, but you take your adversity and you turn that into your advantage. And that's what I teach my athletes. And it's my why, right? The message that I put out there for everybody.
You're a beast. I love it. Also, I just want to fucking highlight you for a second. Maria is very clear in her core message. Maria, how many followers do you have on social media?
I am finally over 200,000, but I will preface this and say that I have 205,000, but I have been doing this since 2015, since Instagram started, but I didn't actually grow this much up until like the past 2.5 years. So it's taken some time, but consistency, guys, consistency. If you scroll all the way back, you see all my cringy workout videos where I'm like, oh my freaking God, but that's where it starts.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I also want to give you credit because the fact that you know your core message is why your following's growing, because it's very clear like who you help and what you're here to do. I see you. Cool. All right, guys. Number 3, the content schedule that you can stick to consistently so you can always be growing in followers and income. Okay. So this is my best practice. All right. I'm going to give you guys the blueprint. So literally screenshot this. If you're watching the Prezzo, if you're watching this live, you can't screenshot it, but that's okay. So blueprint for massive success on Instagram. Once a week, post an incredible transformation picture or reel of you or one of your best clients, because social proof sells. 2 to 3 times a week, post a relatable reel, tells a story of you overcoming adversity, like me and Maria just talked about, or living a day in your life, or sharing a goal you've accomplished and how you've accomplished it. So document how you got success. 2 to 3 times a week, post a value-based Instagram reel that is so jam-packed with value that your audience can get results for free from taking action without ever hiring you as a coach. All right, so let's dive into each one of these. So first things first is an incredible transformation picture or reel of you or one of your best clients. And this is one of my clients, Don. Check this out. Let me know if you can hear the sound.
What's going on? Got a good video for you this morning. You've been waiting for this one. So as of this morning, DIY Body just broke $300,000 this month. It's only the 16th of February. That's right. It's going to be a big one. King is back. What's going on?
So if you guys like, obviously, if you're in my audience and you watch a fucking Instagram reel of somebody hitting $300,000 a month, you'd be like, what the fuck? Right? Social proof sells. So I can talk about how cool my program is, or my clients could talk about it. So if you're working with clients, you guys ask them. I'm going to give you guys a hack. Okay. Here's how you ask clients for testimonial videos. You're going to send them a message and you're going to say, hey, Maria, ... I got a bit of a weird question, but do you enjoy working with me? ? And if you send that to your best clients, you're going to be like, I fucking love working with you. It's so fucking awesome. And you're going to follow up with a second message. And you can say, that's great. I was wondering if you'd be open to doing a short 30 to 90 second testimonial video for me, period. Next line. It doesn't have to be long or professional or anything like that. Just answering 3 main questions. Number 1, what were your hesitations in working with me as a coach? Number 2, what are the specific results that we got working together? And number 3, would you recommend me as a coach to other people? I would love it so much. I appreciate you. Heart emoji. Collect testimonial videos from your best clients. Share them on your social media because social proof sells once a week. 2 to 3 times a week, you want to post a relatable reel that tells a story of you overcoming adversity or living a day in your life, or sharing a goal and how you've accomplished it. Why? Because you didn't come out of the womb with dumbbells in your hand. So share the blueprint for success with your social media so your audience can relate to your struggle and go, if she can do it, I can do it. I'm going to share a video with you guys. This video, it was like a super vulnerable share with me. You're guys going to hear why in a second. This video also got me the most amount of hate I've ever gotten on a social media video ever in the history of time. There was probably 5,000 hate comments. And then I turned off the comments because I was like, every time I opened up my phone, I was like, This is obnoxious. However, this video also got me 1 million views and brought me in 15,000 followers. So check this out.
I did coke on my honeymoon. I was out of the bar, I was wasted, and I asked the bartender if he had any drugs. The next thing I remember is being in the bathroom stall, dumping some out and sniffing it up my nose. I was fucking embarrassed. I was ashamed and I felt alone. I also didn't want to tell my wife because I didn't want to ruin or taint the memory of our honeymoon. It took me 6 months to come clean to her, but I finally did tell her. It broke her fucking heart, but it made me realize that I didn't want to be that person anymore. That night is the single biggest regret of my life. And it's also the reason that I committed to never, ever, ever putting myself in an environment where I'd be tempted to do drugs ever again. See, all of us have done shit that we're ashamed or embarrassed of. And it's not until we accept full responsibility for those actions that we can start stepping into our power and become the man or woman that we were meant to become.
So I'm sure that you guys have some shit that you could share that's powerful, that could fucking change some people's lives on social media. You got to be courageous enough to share, right? And I promise you guys, if you get courageous enough to share with your social media, you're going to start to get some crazy results too. Now, 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to post a value-based Instagram reel that's so jam-packed with value that your audience can get results for free from just taking action on the reel. Why? Because 99% of people will never take action on the free content anyways. So gatekeeping your best secrets is stupid, because if you're gatekeeping your secrets, people aren't going to see you as an authority, but somebody else online is going to be posting really good shit. And so your audience is going to go to them because they're getting more value, and they're going to invest in them when they're ready to hire a coach. So demonstrate your authority and give a lot of fucking value. Here's one of my videos.
Stop posting workout videos and pictures. Nobody gives a. Instead, post these 3 types of fitness videos to go viral. Number 1, menu videos. Break down what types of foods to eat at fast food restaurants that won't make you fat. Number 2, form correction videos. This makes you look like an expert and it gets views because, let's be honest, no one wants to look like this guy. Number 3, delicious food recipes. People are never going to make the food, but they will lie to themselves and save the video for the future. Speaking of saving, save this video and follow me for more.
Cool. So value-based content. Has this been valuable for you guys so far? Drop a hell yes in the chat box if you're getting value. Drop a hell yes in the chat box if you're getting value. We got some
And
more.
if you're getting value, I'm going to come in and say, y'all know the drill. You're going to pop your phone up, take a picture, and you're going to tag Brian. You're going to tag Clean Health, and you're going to talk about, say, learning how to be a better coach. Let's freaking, Brian, we're on the same wavelength. We're on the same wavelength. Let's fucking go.
Guys, if you're getting value, screenshot this, post on your Instagram, tag at the real Brian Mark and Clean Health and PT Dom. Say you're learning how to be a better coach. I want to see who's paying attention after this live. All right. That's so fucking funny. All right. Now, this is a bonus module I made for you guys. Okay. So how to use call to actions to land clients and the difference between hard call to actions versus soft call to actions. So a hard call to action. A hard call to action is one where you're directly asking people if they want to work with you. An example is, I'm looking for 5 women who want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 to 60 days. Okay. So this is one of my clients, Don. End of day 4 engagement post. In total, 12 paid in full, 2 monthly. He made $11,000 in cash from this one fucking post. He used the DM game script and the conversation going. Once he got the application, I'd send the feedback. How often should I make posts like this? I can't believe this. So $11,000 one post. I'm looking for 5 women who want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 to 60 days. Is a hard call to action. This is one where you're saying, hey, I'm a coach. Do you want to work with me? Okay. Now, a soft call to action is one that encourages people to comment or DM, but is not directly asking them to work with you for your online coaching business. It's basically like you're hinting in the direction of offering a fitness program without actually saying it. Okay. So an example, this is one of my clients, Trent. I'm going to play this video for you. It says men who work out 3 to 5 times per week, but are not seeing results, follow and comment book, and I'll send you my brand new ebook for free. Okay. So this is a soft call to action. Basically, you're telling your audience, I'm a coach and I've got some value for you. Comment this word if you want it, but it's not apply for my coaching program. Somebody tell me the difference between a hard call to action and a soft call to action from your audience's perspective. I want to see if anybody knows. So if I say I'm looking for 5 guys that want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days, or, if you're struggling to lose weight and you want to copy my ebook, type the word ebook. What's the difference from the audience perspective? There's one word I'm looking for. I saw somebody say cold, one word. What's the word? The word is intent. Yes. Somebody just said, hard CTA, the audience is looking to buy and hot. Exactly. The word is intent. Okay. Intent. So if somebody says like I want to lose weight, that's me. They are intending to like, that is more intent to purchase. Does that make sense? Whereas a soft call to action for like an ebook, there's not a lot of intent to purchase. That doesn't mean you can't sell them, right? Because somebody that says they want a free fat loss ebook, is that person struggling with fat loss? Yes or yes? Of course, right? Now, you as the fucking salesperson, which as an online coach, you are a salesperson, you need to take that conversation and see if there's any extra support that you can give them. And if there is, you can offer a free fitness consult to help them with their fitness goals. Does that make sense? Perfect. All right. So what should my call to action schedule be? I'm so glad you asked. You always want to give more than you ask, okay? So every time you post value, social proof connection, you're giving value, right? You're like giving to your audience. Every time you do a call to action, which is like, I'm looking for 5 guys. If you want to work with me, DM me the word fat loss. You're asking your audience to give you something in return. Everybody write this in the chat box. Your give to ask ratio should be 3 to 1. 3 to 1. My give to ask ratio should be 3 to 1. I would recommend doing call to actions on Monday and Thursday. Monday and Thursday. So Monday, do a hard call to action, and Thursday, do a soft call to action. Now, the reason that I recommend Monday you do hard call to actions is because people go out on the weekends, they get fucked up, they drink a lot of alcohol, they smoke some weed, they hang out with their friends, they eat bad food. We've got those weekend warriors. They're on their fitness journey Monday to Friday, and then the weekend comes and they just stuff their face with everything they possibly can. Monday, they feel super guilty. So Monday is a very good time for you guys to be doing call to actions. So Monday is where you should be like, if you're looking for help with your fitness journey, DM me the word fat loss, or like posting your best transformation and then, doing a voting poll. If you want my help, vote hell yes here. That's Monday. Thursday is a soft call to action where you're like giving away an ebook, or maybe you're giving away a recipe that you wrote, or maybe you're just like, you post a poll on your Instagram stories. What do you struggle with more, diet or exercise? That's Thursday. Monday is a hard call to action. Now, here's a bonus for you guys. If you're going to do a call to action, do a call to action blast. Everybody write that in the chat box. If you're going to do a call to action, do a call to action blast. What is a call to action blast? I'm so glad you asked. A call to action blast means that instead of just putting it on one platform, you want to put it on multiple platforms at the same time. Now you'll be able to collect leads from multiple sources. A call to action blast looks like this. So let's say you're going to do that. I'm looking for 5 guys that want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days. A blast means that you put it on your Instagram newsfeed, your Instagram stories, your Facebook newsfeed, your Facebook stories. You do a Facebook live about it, an Instagram live about it. You post on TikTok and Facebook Reels and Instagram threads. That's a blast. So now maybe instead of getting leads from one call to action, like just on your stories, you get 2 leads from your Instagram stories, 1 lead from your Instagram newsfeed, 2 leads from your Facebook newsfeed, 5 leads from your Facebook stories, 1 lead from your Facebook Live. Now you've got 15 potential leads. You book phone calls with 5 of them. You close 3 of them. Like, that's a business, right? So if you're going to do a call to action, you guys should blast it out. Don't just put it on one platform, put it on multiple platforms so you can collect leads from multiple sources that day. That's one of my clients, Austin. He was struggling to get a consistent amount of leads until we implemented this content schedule. Using this call to action schedule, he not only was able to book 5 to 10 calls per week, he also consistently generates anywhere from $20,000 to $35,000 per month in his online coaching business. And he recently purchased his dream car, a Dodge Challenger SRT, and bought his family his dream home. Are you calling your audience to take action, or are you inconsistent with your content schedule? If you're inconsistent, type inconsistent in the chat box. If you're crushing it, say crushing it in the chat box. Most trainers, even the advanced ones, skip this. Guys, this is the literal blueprint for success. And I promise you that those of you guys that follow this blueprint will see massive fucking success in the next 3, 6, 12 months in your online coaching business. Again, this is one of my clients, Bray. Craziest 10 days of my life. Had 4 clients renew, signed 12 new clients. I also hit Brian Mark's goal of $20,000 in 1 month. My mind is blown that I even accomplished this. This is one of my clients, Bray. She follows everything I say, and she's a beast. I want everyone to really pay attention to this slide, okay? This is important. Most people think that advanced people skip the basics, when the reality is that advanced people never skip the basics. Master these fundamentals for the next 365 days, and I promise you, you will be able to take full control of your life and you will earn financial freedom. Most people think advanced people never skip the basics, when the reality is that advanced people never skip the basics. Cool. That is it. That's all I got for you guys. For more value, make sure you guys follow me at The Real Brian Mark on Instagram, the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast, or you can also follow me at Brian Mark on YouTube. And we got 10 minutes. So Maria, let's do some Q&A.
Yes, sir. If you guys found some value, drop a hell yeah. You know what to do. Drop it into the chat. I know you guys find a lot of value from the presenters that we bring into our community. And hopefully, coming in from a PT business perspective, you guys found value here. We provide a lot of book knowledge. At the end of the day, one of the biggest underrated things is understanding as a PT, you need to be a business man or woman. All right. You got to nail it. You got to make sure you're selling yourself. I know that sounds pretty awkward. We hate to do it, but we have to, unless you're hiring someone else to do it, but you're still going to have to lock in the sales. So let's do an open Q&A. Hello, Nam. Welcome to our community call. Ask your question, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Brian? Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Maria, for bringing me up. Just quick questions. In terms of the, you mentioned earlier about the 3 things that we make a mistake on, like addictive to views and things like that. I do have a question. So in terms of creating content, I find myself scrolling through the social media a lot and trying to I would say mimic what other people's ideas are. And you mentioned earlier, you got to be authentic. You got to be, you got to speak in what you truly believe. Sometimes we get stuck with content. So how can you overcome that?
So
Thanks.
Yeah. Do you do check-ins with how many clients do you have?
Right now, 19.
19. Okay. So you do check-ins with your clients, right?
Yes. Yeah. True.
So
yeah.
When you do check-ins with your clients, I want you to write down notes of what you're coaching your clients on. And out of next 19 check-ins, I want you to create 5 video ideas from those check-ins. So that's your first piece of homework, is you need to practice speaking from your own voice, coaching issues that you're currently working with, because that's the easiest way to create content, right? Is with your current clients. Your current clients will say that they're struggling. I struggled to stick to my meal plan this week because I went out and I ate food at a restaurant, and that's why my plan was off. So then your next video could be if you're out at a restaurant and you want to stick to your plan, here are 3 things you can order off the menu, right? So that's the first place to start. Now, in terms of I like to get inspiration from other creators too, but here's how I do it. Find 5 creators in your niche that are creating content for your type of person. And this could take a little bit of research, but you could literally go on TikTok and search men's fat loss and then sort by best videos. And then you could go to their page and see if they're putting a lot of content out for men's fat loss. I find 5 creators that I really resonate with, and I'll watch their pages only, right? Because you don't want to scroll through social media aimlessly. But if you have 5 creators that are putting out super valuable content, and then you're going to their pages consistently, and you can grab 1 video idea from each one of their pages, once a week, that's a really good place to start. So I do think there's value in using social media to get inspiration, but obviously you don't want to get stuck in the scrolling. So have your 5 creators that you get inspo from, go to their pages consistently, and then get your own content ideas from your clients' check-ins. But this will be the most important one, the client check-ins, because I do think it's important to get inspiration for other people. But if you want to find your own voice now, then you need to practice talking in videos and coaching from your own perspective.
I think that's a lot of nuggets in that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother.
Question, Mr. Bond, let's go. Welcome to our call. Thank you for raising your hand, sir.
Yeah, no problem, Maria. You always have great videos. Awesome to have, the biggest coach in the world, Brian Mark. Still learning about social media, I'm not going to lie. For me, I'm trying to learn how to really monetize social media so I can attract persons. I don't want to make any excuses about my finances, my struggles. I'm an immigrant from Jamaica in the US. But, Brian, how do you really pivot yourself to really, even if you don't have a lot of clients right now, to attract clients with and be visible online, despite the millions of top trainers?
So tell me the disadvantages that you have right now.
Finances, definitely, and trying to manage my day job in construction, and having those banger videos that everybody seems to want. I don't have those equipment and access to the gym right now consistently. So that's one of the major blocks for me. I use old videos I have, but generally I don't have a problem spending the money, but I realize that you have to spend the money and invest in yourself more to attract the type of clients that will pay for the service. If you
Pause.
understand what I mean.
So finances, I just want to hone in on your main objection. So the main objection to you growing on social media is that you don't have the finances to invest in the equipment to create the banger videos that people want to see. Is that correct or incorrect?
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I believe. Like,
I have another question for you. Do you have a phone?
yes, I do.
Because my Instagram account blew up with videos from my phone to 10,000 followers. And then I started investing in video content.
Like the big 10K making money type of bank and blow up. Like,
Bro, I'm telling you, you need to use your disadvantages to your advantage. So the fact that you don't have the finances should be an advantage for you, because you can look at yourself in the mirror after this call and you can be like, all right, motherfucker, we don't have the money, but we got a phone. And if we have a phone and we can post 2 videos a day, every day for the next 365 days, I promise you, your business is going to blow up, period. And bro, the best part about not having finances is posting on social media is free. FREE, costs $0. So you can use no money. You can come from nothing with an iPhone with all the disadvantages, being an immigrant, coming from Jamaica, living in America, and you can use that to your advantage. And you can make videos about being an immigrant, coming from Jamaica, living in America, hustling to build your dream. And if you don't have access to a gym, then you set up your fucking phone outside. Another disadvantage, I don't have access to a gym. Perfect. You fucking set up your iPhone, you do push-ups outside, and you literally do a video talking about how you don't have access to a gym, but you use your disadvantages to your advantages, and you're outside doing push-ups like a beast, because that's what successful people do. And so every disadvantage that you have, I want you to turn it into an advantage. Don't have access to a gym? Great. We film videos outside. Don't have the fucking money for a camera? Sweet. We do sick ass videos on our fucking iPhone. And we research on YouTube how to make sick iPhone videos. And then we just do it. And then we do it again and again and again and again and again until we hit success. Bro, I'm telling you, the one thing that you have that nobody can take from you is willpower. And when your willpower is so fucking strong that you will literally burn down any obstacle in your pathway, it does not matter what resources you have. It doesn't matter, bro. Like when I was an addict, when I was a drug addict, which was like 10 years ago, which we haven't even talked about in this presentation, I had nothing, zero. I was like negative $50,000. I owed drug dealers money. I had nothing, but I had my work ethic. I was like, I absolutely refuse to be a loser. I absolutely refuse for this to be my life story. I'm not going to be one of those guys that people forget. I'm going to make a dent on this planet, and I'm going to use all of my disadvantages and I'm going to turn them into advantages. But you need to flip the fucking switch in your brain, and you need to stop letting this bullshit, like, don't have the money, don't have the camera equipment, don't have this, don't have that. Fuck all of that. That's how I feel about that. Turn all of your disadvantages into advantages and make the decision that from this moment forward, you're going to start playing at a high level. Period.
Also, Bon, but I was going to say, Bon, I've watched your stuff. Listen, you're a personality. You need to leverage that. And even though I post sometimes, even myself, I post some professional videos too. Nothing beats my iPhone videos that I film myself. And so don't overthink it and just do it. Stop thinking and just do it. Just be you, because people follow you for you. Okay?
Yeah, you guys are totally right. I was very grateful. I found personal training. I did it. I tried to get into it back home, but it was very expensive and it was so competitive. But I'm grateful I have the personality I have, and I'm definitely loving what Brian is saying about just, hey, just do it. Just use the disadvantages. For me, I used to think that, oh my God, it has to be so perfect at the first go, but I stopped thinking about that. I've been posting stuff and it's not I'm not watching the views or anything. So I want to thank you guys tremendously a lot. And this is what I really are all about, and this is the philosophy of me getting big overnight. So for me, I'm going to just produce what I need to do and yeah, see how it goes.
Bro,
Let's
I believe in
go.
you. One sec. I believe
do
in you.
too.
I'm not done yet. I believe in you. And I'm going to say one thing, okay? Don't let this conversation be one of those things where you're like, that was great. And then you fucking leave and don't do anything. Like, show me, bro. Show me twice a day, every day for 365 days. I promise you, your financial situation is going to change real fast. And in 3 months' time, you're going to DM me. You're going to be like, yo, you were right. I'm going to be like, I know. And I'll send you a video saying, I know. Show me, bro. You have the courage to raise your hand on this call. You have the courage to ask the question. And you say that you hear me. Now show me, bro. Actions speak louder than words.
You got this. And one of my favorite sayings from Sebastian Oreb is, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So you're making your way by showing up every single day. And I appreciate having you in our student community. Brian,
Yeah.
you always value and inspire every single one of our students. Team, don't ever doubt yourself. We all start somewhere, and I love to see the growth you guys have as students and as coaches. And I cannot wait to welcome you guys again into our next student call in 2 weeks. I will say, just before I let you guys go, because you had some questions about the social media and what to do and all of those things, Brian and Cole got you covered with us. We have social media mastery. If you guys aren't enrolled, I know some of you, Becky, you mentioned you're in the course and doing that now. There's a lot of you who are doing it. They go over all of those things: technology, lighting, content creation, you name it. So don't forget to take advantage of that. I popped it into the chat. If you have questions, shoot me a message. Brian, thank you so much for joining us, providing value. Team, I will see you in 2 weeks. If there's any topics you would like for our team to cover, shoot me a message and I will sort that for all of you. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you guys in our next call.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.